Man, love that song too. Love the song, love the movie, love the character. What is his experience? He also lost both parents violently. Does anybody see a pattern here? It seems like there's a pattern of trauma that super individuals come from. Think about that for a moment. If you feel like you've gone through something, if you feel like life has defeated you, if you feel like you've been crushed, if you feel like life gave you a bowl of sour apples, sour grapes, and you couldn't make wine out of it, you just got dealt a bad hand. You're sitting at a poker table, you got two deuces, a 4 and a 7. You got a trash hand. Lost both parents violently, also socially awkward, and rich. But at the same time, he was rich in money, impoverished in satisfaction. There was always an insecurity, an inability with Iron Man. Even though he was so rich, he was empty inside. See, there's some things that you have to overcome before you can enjoy money, before you can enjoy success. You can say, I want to make money. Some people equate success with money, but then when they get money, they see they're not successful. And they're still empty, but they're chasing something that is not monetary, but they think it is, because the world kind of equates success with money. So they spend their entire lives chasing money and never find peace. Never find peace. Some clients come in and I speak to them, do a needs analysis, and they talk money, and their business proposition or their business model is money centric. But as I listen to them, because my background is industrial and organizational psychology, I listen for cues. Some superpowers that I have is active listening and deep listening. So when I hear them speak, I hear or see what they don't say. And I know it's not tied to money. I know it's not tied to money. They need impact. They need love. They need reception. They need other people to appreciate them for who they are, but they think they want money. So I'll say, okay, and we put the money plan together, but I strategically help them to formulate their business where they are surrounded by people and they get satisfaction. They just need enough money to live. But money's not the key for them, not really. So what's the key for you? What's the key for you? If you think about Iron Man, he appeared to have an inability to love until the very last movie, until the very last minutes. He had been so hurt, he didn't trust anyone. And if you remember one of my favorites, Civil War with Captain America, he had some love for Captain America, then he realized he couldn't even trust him because he violated him too, with what he knew about Bucky and how Bucky had killed his parents. Hold on, I hope I'm not spoiling it for you guys. I just really love the movies, right? You can tell I love this stuff. I really go into it, right? I found my inner child, if you will, my innocence, right? I relive my childhood through this stuff, right? But there's also a deeper reason and a deeper purpose and a deeper sense of self-salvation or finding yourself. Sometimes something small will have such a bigger, colossal meaning, and it'll stir your soul and give you an infinite lesson that can be applied in so many different ways in relationships and business. So one of his experiences was an inability to love. Do you remember when Penelope left? Penelope left. That was his girl. That was his wife, his girl. The woman who became his wife left him because he was so shallow. He was materialistic. You want to be careful about that. You want to be careful about that. I hope pins are moving. I hope people are learning, because this will come down from Facebook and it will not stay there. So if you're not writing, I want you to at least critically think. And I think you should be writing, because if you can figure out your experiences, if you can get past your experiences and you can realize and really take ownership of what you've been through, then you can take ownership in the creation of who you are to be. You can determine some superpowers. You can determine some proficiencies and profound pieces of your self-identity and your value add. Iron Man was a systems thinker by choice, not born that way. He was a systems thinker. He was brilliant because he educated himself. He was kind of rebellious, so he didn't probably fit in a formal school setting. You never hear them saying he graduated from MIT, Harvard, or Yale. So he was outside of the box, but he was still super intelligent, innovative because he was so unable to love, and because he spent so much time loving himself or inside of himself, he became a creator. He became a creator. And one of his superpowers actually was the ability to disassociate. Your greatest creators are sometimes reclusive, but their creations impact the world. So they become inclusive. This is one piece that you should get. They become inclusive by being reclusive. Their superpower is reclusiveness. They're able to go into the mountaintop, go out of society's eyes for maybe 40 days and 40 nights, and come back with the cure to some inadequacy. Are you always in people's faces? Do you ever have time for yourself? Do you ever go into yourself? And if so, what do you come out with? Or do you need to? Is there a need for you to maybe get out of people's faces, get into yourself, retreat so you can come back, pull back so you can spring forward? What relationships are causing you harm? What relationships are less conducive than they could be or should be or would be if you gave yourself time and space? What would that look like if you took some time to yourself? I'm thinking about something that Eric Thomas always says: honor thy craft. Honor thy craft. See, he honored his craft. He was a systems thinker. You don't create that way. If you watch any of the movies, you can't create that way if you don't honor the craft. You can't honor thy craft if you're always in somebody else's stuff or somebody else's face or somebody else's team. So this is the saying, and this is the jewel. It's best to have to sit at the best seat is at the head of your own table, as opposed to just having a seat at someone else's. Sometimes you have to disassociate. Sometimes you may have to leave. Even mommy house. Even mommy house. Some people stay in mommy house till they 30 and 40. And I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with that, but you won't find your own wings until you get thrown out of the nest. Sometimes you need to be thrust from the nest. Sometimes you need to thrust yourself from the nest. Sometimes people need to thrust themselves out of relationships. I don't know if that resonates. It may have touched a couple of people. That's okay. And if you feel like you're in a situation like that where you might be underappreciated or taken advantage of or not really loved or shown the right appreciation or not able to develop your internal desires or your internal culture or your internal value add, if you're not able to be yourself because you're in the shadow of someone else, don't be scared of yourself. Don't be scared of yourself. There's somebody great on the other side of the mirror, guys. There's somebody great on the other side of the mirror. And sometimes stepping out of that circle may cause you to find your inherent